All right, it is time. We are live in the danger zone with all the fans and everyone who is ready to begin talking about this season. So I'm very, very excited for my guest today, Amber. Always a pleasure to talk with you. I know that we didn't get a chance to talk before Comic-Con. I got a chance to talk to a couple other people, but we are here now right before New York Comic-Con. So there's another con coming. And I'm very excited to have you here. So welcome. I hope life has been less hectic for you than some other people out there in the world, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here. Life is definitely less hectic right now because I just don't have anything to do. So things like this are a welcome distraction. So thank you.
Well, luckily you have things to do every Wednesday night on FXX, though, right? And then, of course, the next day
Yes.
on Hulu. Let us not forget that as well. So Archer is back. How happy are you that Archer is back after we kind of push things back a little bit? It's like a birthday party where like the cake is in the fridge, but we can't take it out until then. So
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really excited. Like every Wednesday, my husband and I like order food and watch Archer, and it's super exciting because I had forgotten. I mean, we recorded these seasons such a long time ago that I forgot a lot of what the episodes were. So I'm watching with new eyes like everybody. So it's been really fun. And because, we're kind of back to old Archer. So it's just been fun to kind of get back into it.
I think so too, and I'm very excited to talk about everything Archer. To begin with, Pam is back. Although she always seems to be back in her oranges, like her orange color there, like you see in the side there. Well, what is the? Is that just her regular clothing that she's always back? Archer kind of gets some different clothing, but Archer always. I think Pam kind of has her. Her earth tones, I guess, is really what she leans into as
Yeah.
well.
There's another regular Pam outfit, which is a blue and black outfit, but it looks exactly the same as this outfit. So you'll see, I know this just because of cosplayers. Like cosplayers are what remind me of what my character looks like, which is super awesome. But yeah, it seems like everybody's kind of back into their, like Lana's got her sexy sweater dress on, and so it's really nice to kind of see people back in their original form.
I think so too. And you know what? The fun thing about this is that we go back to, I guess, the original spy world too. We did the inception upon the inception upon the inception, and now we are back out. So, are you happy to be back out in the spy world? Don't get me wrong. You got a chance to be a rock monster as well as a detective and a couple other things too. So there was some definite Halloween voice type stuff you got to be a part of. But are you happy to be back in the spy world?
Yeah, and I did love the Coma seasons, but it is really nice. I think like a lot of fans, because I watch the show and I say this all the time, like I'd be a fan of this show even if I wasn't on it because it's just a great show. So I think like a lot of the fans, I'm just excited to see like what the gang's up to because again, like I read the episodes such a long time ago that I'm just really interested to kind of see whatever and to see what the animation's going to look like and what everybody's been up to. And it's it's so funny, like Cheryl trying to pretend that she was a different person. Just all those little things that I think everybody enjoys. It's so fun to see what everybody's been up to for the last 3 years.
Well, it's the cleaner and healthier Cheryl, which really only lasted as long as whatever prescription that was she was on. I think
Exactly.
is really where it kind of went into too. So I was very very happy to have her back as well. And you know what's funny too is this season we actually so far that I've seen, of course, we have the whole crew, and the whole crew is awesome. Everyone's back, and I'm always happy to see Ray. Although Ray seems to be always kind of on the side, off doing some other stuff, but I am kind of interested to see the fact that in the last couple episodes we've seen a lot of Pam and Krieger together too. So that's always a good mashup too. Do you always enjoy, I guess, lending your voice to associate with Lucky and Krieger, knowing that
Yeah, and
you in the garage are always strong?
totally, yeah, because not everybody knows, but you mentioned that Lucky and I have known each other for 20 years, like way before Archer started, because we do theater together at Dad's Garage. So yeah, I love being with Lucky. We live in the same city. We know each other super well. And I think that Pam and Krieger are just, they're two of the secondary characters, but I also think they're two of the fan favorites. And so to see them like bumbling around when they came in, from the ceiling in episode 3, like trying to be, well, not really trying, but them bumbling into the scene after everybody else had come in so like stealthily is just perfect. That's exactly what people want out of those two, and I'm always happy to see it and perform it.
I think so too. And the cool thing is that Brawler Pam is also back too, as we saw in the Kung Fu Kumite episode as well. So I don't know if you actually watched Bloodsport with Jean-Claude Van Damme. Have you ever had the honor of watching that film by chance?
I don't know, maybe.
See,
but I
neither
don't
did Lucky.
remember
Lucky
it.
Yates had not watched it either, and you're both missing out on true greatness. Some
Okay, it's on my list.
Van Damness. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put it on my list. Make sure that I watch it so that I can have that when I'm delivering Pam lines behind me.
I think so too. Well, it's funny in the actual episode, in the movie, there's a point where they have those wrappings on their hands, but then they put it in glue and then they put it in glass to make it even more deadly. And so I thought they were going to take it up a notch.
Wow. I just recently watched The Wrestler again. And
Ooh.
you know, when he does the little, like the razor on his hairline, that's what that reminds me of, but way more serious.
All right. So before we start going to, I always make it open for the fans out there. So, we have some questions first and foremost. So one of the questions here from Tristan is, I guess, how do you think Archer's going to get his mojo back? And do you think the Lana and Archer separation will be a long lasting kind of thing or not?
Oh, that's such a hard question.
It is.
I think that Archer is gonna get his mojo back by sheer, like, just determination, because he's not gonna let anybody tell him that he's not as awesome as he was before. So he's just gonna keep pounding away at it until people are like, okay, Archer, you're great. And then with Lana, she really is happy. Like, she really is in a good relationship, and I really don't want her to mess it up. So I hope that nothing goes wrong with that relationship, because we're all the characters are terrible human beings, but at the end of the day, they all have some redeeming qualities, and I feel like we finally seen Lana in a happy place, so I really don't want that to get ruined. I think it would be really sad. So hopefully it'll stick, but I also think that Archer has got to believe somewhere in his mind that Lana will pine for him for the rest of his days just to keep him alive.
Right. Well, and then the thing is too, of course, we've seen Lana, fiend for Archer, as he would probably say it more than anything else. So to give up a billionaire, especially a guy who played Ned Ryerson in Groundhog's Day, is pretty much a loss on her count, in my regard. Especially since sometimes I want Archer to get his butt kicked, just because that's part of it too. And I think that's what the gang is kind of coming to realization of is, hey, Coma Archer was our best Archer friend ever. Like, it's kind of weird how we're leading into that, and everyone's just like seeing how much I guess it's not even like impish nature, it's just like plain mean Archer kind of like pushing his way into everything too. So it's fun for sure, but I do wish that Sarah would take some of those abs, those buys, those tries, and maybe like do a little lesson learned or something too. So
yeah, because you can't be on top all the time, and as much as you love Archer and follow Archer, you do want him to get his comeuppance every once in a while, because he deserves it.
And here's another question here, and this is something that I don't know if we'll answer this not, but do you think that Lana's husband is a spy? Do you think he's just a billionaire kind of guy? This is from Abigail, who was wondering that.
That's a really good question. And just to be completely transparent, I'm probably the cast member that knows the least about what's going on. Like, I don't remember anything. Lucky is so good at it. Like, so's Aisha. They both got like the whole show mapped out in their head. And I'm like, I don't know, that would be cool. And the people are like, yeah, Amber, that happened like 2 seasons ago. So I think it'd be awesome if he was a spy. But I really, honestly, if he was, have no idea.
All right, well, let's get into the real thing about Pam. The real question is Pam going to start banging again? She was doing good the first couple seasons. She was making a round robin around the office for sure. So, yeah. But it's been, I guess in Archer's inception mind, he doesn't really want Pam to have as much fun. So maybe that's why those seasons didn't have it. But is Pam going to release not only the brawler, but the lover too? The lover and the fighter?
I hope so, but I sadly don't think that we're going to see it this season. And people always ask me, like, if you could choose anything to have Pam do, what would it be? And I really would love to see her do some dating and like us see that throughout a few episodes, and then maybe if she settles down with somebody, like who would that be? So I think it'd be really fun to kind of see a little bit more of Pam's personal life and her dating life. And maybe I'm always down with going back to Poovey Farms. But I get into some of that. I write Pam's Twitter feed, which is so much fun because I get to kind of go more into like, what is she doing in her personal life? So every once in a while, I'll drop some things about, this new neighbor that she thinks is cute or, whatever. So if you're looking for some of that, you can always follow good old Pam on the Twitter.
All right. Well, the Twitters are definitely up there, and we always love Pam, whether it's her brawler, her sexual nature, or even her drink choices as well. How many of her little drink concoctions have you actually tried yourself?
Every time I'm at a con, someone asks me if I will go to their room and have a Green Russian. And I'm like, no, first of all, I'm not going to go to your room. And second of all, nobody should be drinking Green Russians. Like, it's the most disgusting sounding thing in the whole world. But I have seen some people make them. And so they look like Green Russians, but they don't have absinthe in them. They have like, melon liqueur or something, which also with like heavy cream sounds horrifying, but maybe a little bit better. So I have not had a Green Russian. I tend to, my tastes, Amber's tastes tend to lean more towards like what Archer and Mallory would drink and less towards what Pam would drink, because she just doesn't care.
Well, that's a problem. They're like, come to my room for a Green Russian, but really you're like, that looks more like a roofie colada is what that looks like.
Exactly.
So I think I'm going to stay right here with my bottled water that's been next to me the whole time. So
yeah.
Well, you know what? Before we get into the recap, which we're definitely going to do, I want to play a little game with you if you're okay. And this game is for the fans, it's for you as well. And this game is called Sploosh or No Sploosh. So we're going to show you some characters and we're going to have you say sploosh or no sploosh with them as you would. Let's go with the character themselves. I don't want you to think about the voice actor. It's a mysterious voice that comes and fills these voids. So let's go with that. So,
and this is what Pam would think, not what Amber would think.
This is what Pam would think 100%. So let's actually go here and let's start off with Mr. Barry. Is Barry a sploosh or not a sploosh? What do you think?
I want to go with not a sploosh, because Barry is I don't know. I felt a little bit better about him after this most recent episode.
Right.
But I think he's a not sploosh because he's just he's just a nuisance, nuisance that keeps coming up and getting in your way. So not sploosh.
Well, he won over Cyril, we saw for sure. So I guess maybe Pam is still on the fence a little bit. She's still down with her bro Archer, I think, more than not. So I understand that, and I am 100% okay with that. So let's actually move on to our next one, and that is TV's Michael Gray. Now, is TV, does that do it for Pam? You think seeing everything therein, look at just open up as an option, or
the inside of his body? This is a hard one. I'm gonna say sploosh. I think that she likes a man with some substance.
Well, you see all the substance there, so sploosh. Sploosh to TV's Michael Gray. So thank you, sir. You are a sploosh. So let's move on to our next one here. This one I kind of know what her answer might be, but let's just check, because she might have those emotions, moving the needle. So let's look at Conway Stern.
This is a hard one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say sploosh.
All right. Sploosh.
Yay! They get swept away.
He's swept away with the sploosh. Yes, 100%. Conway, of course, he's already back, and recently he lost a leg. So let's just see if Krieger has the time and patience to, I guess, fix him up one more time. Mm-hmm. Now this is a hard one, because the man himself is a legend at the voice, but the character is what we're going for. So Len Drexler here. He could party and take some good hallucinogenics as well. He likes rabbits. I mean,
I'm gonna say Pam would say not sploosh. I think Pam likes them a little bit, closer to her age.
Right. I would say that too. Although I feel like Pam is equal opportunity as well if things are right.
Yeah, if you're in the right circumstances, anything's possible.
All right, so we got Len Drexler down. So the next one we need to look at is this man, and this is just an emotional, heartfelt kind of thing here. Woodhouse. Oh,
Oh,
and he always looks so
my
sad.
God.
It makes me sad.
Yeah.
Just I know.
I know this goes against the last thing I just said, but I do think that Pam, in the right circumstances, would totally go sploosh for Woodhouse.
Well, he had that heroic backstory as well, and he likes to ride the H train.
Yeah, and he's a great cook. He's very attentive. He sounds perfect.
I think so too. All right. So now what we're going to do is we are actually going to go to something a little bit different in the same regard, a sploosh and not sploosh, but you were not part of this world. Right before Comic-Con in San Diego, we actually did a little fun. Thanks to an artist friend of ours, Diane Ha. We actually have some gender bending art. So we see the opposite sex art of some of our favorite characters. So to begin with, let us look at gender bending Cheryl. Is that I guess that was an automatic there. Sorry about that.
I would say in this particular case, I'm going to say not sploosh, only because I think that he kind of looks like a Cyril type.
That's what Judy Greer thought as well, and then she was very disgusted because they've had sex a lot, and so she doesn't want them to be as part of that world for sure. So yeah, I definitely kind of see that 100%. Now we're moving down the sexy train now, and we're gonna go to Lana, who by the way Aisha has dubbed. Idris is the male version of her. That's what she was. She
I
thought
was thinking
Idris.
I was thinking he looked a little bit more like Common.
And that's what she loves as well. She very much said that too. So the male version of Lana Kane, I guess the question there.
Definitely a sploosh.
It's definitely a sploosh. Sploosh.
I like the turtleneck. The turtleneck on a man is very nice.
I think it works really well too, especially if you have a beard. But I'm not going to get into
and a bald head. It really is working.
Well, now I know what to lean for in my next fall look, I guess too. Turtlenecks are in, as well as large beards too. Let's look at a female archer. So, yeah. So where's a female archer land in your world?
Interesting. I think it's going to be a sploosh because she is probably cuckoo in the sack.
Well, and two crazies with a Pam as well. That's going to be something it's definitely going to be a very visual and
lots of sparks. Yeah,
lots of sparks too.
Athletic.
Yes, 100%. Let's see here, and I think our last one here is of course the lady herself. And the male version of Pam. Now we have seen a male version of Pam in kind of some of the Inceptions and stuff too. So we've kind of seen what the male version would kind of look like already. But I think this one's
like he looks like Paul Blart, the mall cop. And I like that he also has a brooch. Oh man, I'm gonna say not sploosh. Sorry, guys.
Well, it's always like that question. Would you do the opposite sex version of yourself? And I guess Pam just is not down. She's not down to clown in that regard. So sorry about that. Oh well. That's all right. That's all right. You know what? You have to make the hard decisions in life sometimes, and I think that's the way to go. So as we kind of go forward here, I want to go back to some questions here. I think, what the thing they want to know more is, do you think, as we come into this episode and this recap, do you think old Barry will return? Do you think that's going to be something in your mind is going to happen? Of course, we saw kind of how the way the episode ended, and we're going to go into the recap right now. But old Barry, is he going to be back, as it were?
I feel like you can never count out Barry. I feel like you just never know when he's going to show up. So I'm going to say probably.
It's a possibility. It's a possibility, and we'll definitely see as we go. We have many episodes to go, so there's definitely some thoughts, some questions, some answers to arise. So with that in mind, chat is still open, but we are going to go into the recap of Robot Factory. Archer, of course, is not a happy camper. That Barry is back. And that's kind of the way we see everything right now. Of course, you mentioned that Pam is not necessarily all on board the new bro code with Barry and Cyril and all that too. So, what was your thought first about when you get to see some people return, some fun voices and people who are almost part of the regular day family, like Barry?
Yeah, Barry is great. I'm always excited when Barry shows up, and I'm really good friends with Dave Willis, who does the voice of Barry, because I've worked with him on some of his other shows, like Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell and Squidbillies and Aqua Teen Hunger Force. So he's like a real Atlanta, he's an Atlanta entertainment guy. So it's always fun because I'll usually see him when I show up to the recordings of the episodes that he's on. So it's always fun to see Barry, and to see that many Barrys was intense.
Right. I mean, you know what's funny? I really actually enjoyed all of the Barrys. I don't know if you noticed, we had a Spider Barry, we had a Professor X wheelchair Barry. Like, there was a lot of cool different. I feel like somebody was just like, what other kind of berries could we throw in there? I mean, we had the huge mecha Barry as well. So it was kind of cool to see all the different ones that someone's mind had come into play. They were like, oh, we got to add this berry and this berry and this berry. So in the nerdy world that I know all the people involved with Archer live in, I know there was probably a lot of fights of what kind of berries we can kind of create and put out there too. The other great part about this episode was the when all the ladies get together, in the sense of Mallory, Cheryl, and Pam too, and they are doing the whole finding the valet, which I believe is the correct way to say it. Correct, the valet. The valet.
That's correct. That's what I learned from Downton Abbey, and so
Yes.
that's what I'm assuming is the correct way to say it.
I don't think I'm in the correct tax bracket to say valet myself, but I'm going to take that leap of faith that it's okay for me to say it right now too. So. Talk about seeing this part where they're trying to find the new valet for Archer, and also someone to not necessarily replace Woodhouse, but to I guess accentuate Archer's home life.
Yeah, I think it's funny because I love on episodes where they go back to the office and see the horse shit, honestly, that's going on there. And so this is a really fun example of that, because Mallory was basically in charge of all of them screwing off and not working all day long, but she insisted that it was really important. So it's always really fun to, it's like that episode, it was like the first episode of Lost. I'm really going back here, where they have the golf game and you're like, yay, all these people in this terrible situation get to have some fun. And so that's what I feel like when it's there's a mission going on, but let's go check in and see what's happening in the office, and it's ridiculous like that. It was super fun.
Not only that, but another fun part of this whole valet search is that we get the voice of Mr. Simon Pegg, correct?
Can you believe it? Everybody's always like, oh my God, you get these amazing people that you get to work with. And I'm like, I don't get to work with these people. I never meet these people. So every once in a while I'll get lucky, and at, Comic-Con or something, somebody will introduce me to these amazing people that we get to have on Archer. It's incredible. I'm always flabbergasted season after season by the amazing voice talent and amazing, just huge celebrities like Simon Pegg. He's amazing. I was just very, very excited.
I think so too, and of course we talked to Judy right after Comic-Con, and we were giving her all the cred, the street cred, and the love for bringing Jamie Lee Curtis in as well. Of course, her Halloween castmate, bringing the horror and then the funnies. So that's always kind of fun too, to kind of see that too. So maybe, who knows, we'll find a way to kind of get them all. You can get your selfie as well. I think that's the problem with a lot of talent. They don't get a chance to get their selfies and have your Comic-Con moments.
It's true. We need to have a reunion where all the people that have been on Archer come to a party that I get to talk to them at.
Well, I'm glad you're thinking about the people most of all. That's what's really important there. Although as soon as you said the reunion thing, the first thing, I almost had a tear come up when I thought of Burt Reynolds. So that was my thing too. Oh, the amount of adventures they could have had, that's it's. But you know what though, we had enough, I think, and it's in the halls of our memory, I think, is the best way to go. Mm-hmm. So before we move on a little more, another question here. Do you think Pam will be back to drift racing anytime soon?
Oh, for sure. Pam, that's something she does every weekend. So For sure, she'll be back to drift racing. For sure, she's like tagging the bathrooms to every public location she goes. Like that's just all who she is in her core. I don't think we actually see it in season 11, but you know it's happening.
And you get a chance to speak some Asian dialects as well, if I'm correct. How did you take on that role? How did you take on that challenge?
Every time they know, like the guys at Archer know that I'm terrible with accents. I'm terrible with them. And I think it's kind of a hilarious thing that they make me do because they're like, Amber is going to be very stressed out about this. She's going to do a really terrible job. But luckily, they've got a lot of amazing people that work at Floyd County and that speak many different languages. So oftentimes they'll come in and come to the recording session and say stuff, and then I can just kind of parrot it back. But man, it's hard, and I'm terrible at it. Some people are really good at it, but that person is not me.
Well, even more so because you need to do Pam doing it too. So you're doing a Mel Blanc, you're doing a Daffy Duck, doing a Bugs, doing a Daffy Duck kind of thing. So I mean, there's a couple different levels there for sure. But it seems like you pulled it off, and you know, I don't think they're gonna set the Archer and ISIS in any other place. So I think you're gonna be okay on a regular basis. Just a little a little sprinkling a little bit here or there, I think is what's gonna happen overall. I thought the Robot Factory was a lot of fun too, and then the plain anger of Archer. Like Archer is someone who his emotions are I mean, is bipolar the best way to put it? I don't know what the best way to put how his mentality is too. I know we open the door for autistic in some regards as well as some other things too. So I don't know if bipolar is there too, because shooting all the Barry robots in the junk didn't seem like the coolest bro thing to do when you're on a mission. But
I think it's more just like petulance than anything. Like he's a shithead. And he needs a lot of therapy. I think that he's just a person that really needs a lot of therapy.
I think so as well. And the one who really needs a lot of therapy is going to be Cyril. I was so happy to see him take a charge, but the candy bars constantly throughout this whole episode kind of thing. Like I was just laughing at every time. Oh, candy, Cyril. Oh, here's a candy, Cyril. So I think I'm wondering if he's going to be the first person alive to lose muscle mass in like the fastest way possible ever or something, because he's pretty yoked and buff right now. So I wonder if someone's going to be like, nope, done, gone soon.
Yeah. Yeah, because, you know, in the animation world, they can make somebody look completely different overnight. And poor Cyril can never win. I feel like, you know, him being on top for even a short period of time throws the whole Archer universe out of sync. And so it was coming. We all knew it was coming.
Yeah, I think so too. It's funny how things we almost forgot kind of come back in too. So now his addictive nature to food, and then also sex, and then also some other things too, are all definitely part of everything that's happening. So it was very interesting to see where this is going to go with Cyril. So one of the things that I did like was the fact that they all kind of still go on this mission together. I mean, we still have the Archer kind of trying to be in charge and stuff like that too. I did enjoy that Cyril snapped and then snapped someone's neck, I guess too. So the fact that they make you feel guilty about it as well. Like there's just so much the petulance of Archers.
Moment. That's exactly what you expect Archer to do. It's like giving him shit the whole time, and then he actually does something. Granted, the total wrong thing, and so that they can just give him more shit. It's perfect. It's perfection. That's good writing right there.
Well, I am hoping, you know, as we go through the next episode, we're going to see more of Alistair. We're going to hear a little more Simon Pegg, which is great. But I do hope that in the episodes to come, we get a chance to have more Archer Pam kind of stuff, kind of like what Danger Island had, you know, that whole, you
Me
know,
too.
both of them together. I think that was really, it's always a fun duo when those two are together. Not only because, of course, they've slept together and they kind of have that connection already, but also because they're bros at the same exact time, which is the funny, weird thing too.
Yeah.
I have to say that there was many people on the boards who were not happy about the fact that we might have been done with splooshes. So that was, I remember when that was brought up, there was no, we need to have splooshes. Splooshes needs to be a thing. It needs to happen on a regular basis. This needs to be like, we need a sploosh. Sploosh needs to happen at every opportunity. Phrasing is whether it with boom or without boom, it's up to you. It's up to you there too. Though I will say we are very, very, very happy with the fact that we have a brand new one, a brand new meme and theme as well, which is, hey, I want you chill your balls a scotch, just a little scotch. Because my balls are frosty is definitely the shirt that people need to start wearing for the next year too. Have you heard anything about this already? Some comments, some thoughts?
I haven't heard anything about it.
Oh my God, people love it.
Yeah, it's like there's just always these little nuggets that we get every season of some new little ridiculous thing that these guys say, and there's never gonna, and sploosh is never gonna go away. It's never gonna go away.
Oh.
But the last thing you want is for your mom to be like, so what does that mean? Which has happened, and it's never a fun conversation.
Well, luckily, I think usual moms these days just assume that it's a cartoon, so I'm not gonna watch it anyways. So I think that's definitely is. But trust me, my balls are frosty is definitely the term that needs to be put. I don't know if we put terms or phrases into the new Webster's dictionary. Is that how that works now? Yeah. That's definitely one that needs to be.
Or like a Christmas sweater with that on it.
Oh my gosh. All right, anyone out there right now, if you have an Etsy shop, you need to make this happen. I need your Etsy shop. You need to, I don't care if you get it made in some other country or you need to actually, knit it yourself. My balls are frosty. It's going to be amazing. Actually, I see the sweater now with that phrase and then two little white, like ornament balls hanging off the front of it too. So I just won my Christmas sweater party is what I just figured out right now. I just won it. So I think we're good there. Well, it is always a pleasure to talk to you. And I am so excited for more episodes to come. How can people follow everything you're doing? Whether it's you yourself, Pam's, of course, Inner Thoughts, or even Dad's Garage. Have you guys moved into the digital realm of entertainment as well?
Yeah, so you can follow me at Amber C. Nash on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow Pam at Pam's Gossip Train on Twitter, which is super fun. And Dad's Garage is doing shows on Twitch. And so it's Dad's Garage ATL at Dad's Garage ATL at Twitch. And we're on YouTube, Dad's Garage TV. And that's all of it.
That's awesome. Well, we are a fan for sure, and we will definitely be a fan going forward with anything else you do. So feel free to let us know. Any last thoughts about this season so far as we've moved forward? There have been some fun episodes, whether it's brawling, whether it is, you kind of helping put Archer in his place, letting him know that time has passed. She's almost like the signpost saying, hey, you know what? Just deal with it a little bit. Things have changed a little bit too. So
it's a great season. There's so many fun episodes to look forward to, and every episode is like a warm hug from Archer where you're like, we're all back together and terrible again. So I look forward to watching them with you guys.
Well, I know I look forward to watching as well. So we want to thank you for coming on, talking with us, answering some fan questions as well. Of course, one of the questions, which is funny that they ask because everyone always asks and never knows, is it Cheryl or Carol? And I think that's definitely the time of day, whether you're in Eastern Standard, Pacific time, if you just had a coffee, like it's just all those miscellaneous things could change the answer 100%. So I think that, and then we'll see if Barry becomes old Barry again, and talking to Barry about being Barry. And then beyond that, I think we have a lot more fun episodes to come. Just the titles of some of these fun ones are great too. So I'm looking forward to, like I said, seeing what Simon Pegg has to offer, and then also what the rest of the crew kind of comes into play, because ISIS and the spy world are back. So congratulations again, and it's always fun.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It was a great time.
All right. Thank you very much. And we will talk to everyone else very, very soon. Until then, this has been In the Danger Zone. And all you Archer fans out there, Keep your balls frosty. Talk to you soon. One second. One second.